Welcome to this week's show, and what we're going to talk about is your environment dictating your performance. Now, during COVID, and no, COVID's still going on, but during lockdown, I think we found that a massive amount, and everyone was in lockdown. We couldn't leave the houses apart from a short walk every single day. So what happened was your lounge became your office, became your place you train, became the place you socialise. And some of you didn't even have a lounge to yourself, so to parents, etc. And you probably felt overwhelmed and felt like, one, you couldn't get jobs done, and two, you couldn't do any exercise properly because it was all in one location. Now, I know Fionn does a lot of talk about this topic. So what do you think then? What are your biggest takeaway points? What do you think about why people can't perform in certain areas and why they need to, different locations to suit different environments?
I think it's quite important to be able to focus. I think focus is quite important, and if you're in a quite stressful environment, that maybe stressful is not the word for it, but say if you're at home and you've got a couple of other people there, and you've maybe got a dog, and then people coming in and out of the house, then you can't really get your head down and put your full attention into something, and that means that the quality of it's probably not going to be the best. So I think that creating an environment where you can go and be solo, or if you perform well, if you're doing something like a task that involves someone else, and you feel like you bounce quite well off of them, then maybe go and do that with them. But you need to be in for me anyway, I feel like a closed area where you can just put your head down and just essentially just put walls up and just do what you're doing within that time. Because if you're going to spend an hour doing something and you're at home and someone comes in and chat to them for 5 minutes, and then the dog barks and you look at that for all these different little things are going to add up, and you're only going to be spending 25 minutes, maybe half an hour on the actual task, but the quality of that is going to be very, very low because you haven't been able to get yourself, like you could say, into the groove of doing it. So I feel like creating an environment where you can just put your head down, block everything out, and really get into the task is essential. Yeah,
I agree with you, mate. I've said, I'm a big fan of home workouts, and I think if that's all you've got available, then you should definitely do a home workout. But I do feel like I can't get myself as pumped up to do a home workout as I could go into the gym. And going to the gym, it's like you step through the doors and all of a sudden you're there to go to the gym. Whereas when you're at home, and I've started kitting my garage out just in case we get lockdown number 2. And I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't imagine it come kind of full on lockdown like last time. But I just thought I'd get it all ready so it did happen. But if I go to the garage and train, that's okay. If I'm in the lounge and training, I don't want to train. I think it's nothing. Yeah. It doesn't G me up. I don't feel any enthusiasm to train at all. And for me, going to the gym is like a social thing. That's like a switch off. And if you're at home all the time, you're constantly figuring out something you've got to do at home. And you've got to do this, you've got to do that. Whereas actually going to the gym, taking yourself away from where you relax, makes a big, big difference.
Definitely. What a couple of things I've heard over lockdown as well, because obviously loads of people started doing podcasts and writing books and writing blogs and all this kind of stuff. But one of the things I did hear was you need to build a relationship with certain areas. So if you were stuck in your house and you wanted to exercise, but you also wanted to do maybe schoolwork or work from home, but you also wanted to sleep, but you also wanted to relax, then you need to build a relationship with them different places. So you wouldn't sleep in your bed, but you wouldn't do your work in there as well, because when you know that you're tired and you need to go to sleep, your relationship with your bed, that's all it should be. You shouldn't have cross relationships, because then it gets your head confused. Even though we know that that's our bed, that where we're going to go to sleep consciously, and we know that if we're going to sit there, we're going to do some work. However, subconsciously it messes with us. We don't know what we're doing at that stage. So if you go to bed at 10:30, your brain might be thinking, oh, well, am I going to do some work now, or am I going to go to sleep? So it's jogging without you even thinking about it. And same with your lounge. If you're doing your burpees and your sit-ups in your lounge, but then you want to come in maybe you've been doing some shopping and you come in and you want to chill out for a minute and just watch some TV, again, your brain's going to be like, well, am I going to go for a workout or am I going to chill out? And it's just creating civil unrest within your head. And we might not realize that, but you need to build a relationship with the places. So like for you, like you just said, prime example, when you step into the gym, you know exactly when you go in there, that's your time to train, because you have that relationship with it and your brain already knows that. You wouldn't go to the gym and just kind of sit on the sofa and, you know, scroll for Instagram for an hour, would you?
Some people doing that.
So, well, yeah.
There's a lot of people that do that.
Some people do.
Yeah. When you go to the bedroom thing, it's interesting because I read that ages ago. It goes, your bedroom's for sleeping or sex. Like literally two things.
Sleeping and sex, yeah.
Yeah, nothing else. So,
yeah.
And then, but people go in there and they sit on the laptop and they watch like a movie like Netflix, and then they wonder why they're wired and they can't sleep at night. And they're like going, oh, I can't sleep at night. And I talk to them, I like to people, I said, what's your sleep habit like? Oh, well, my partner has a TV on like at night because they can't sleep without the TV. And I'm like, well, that's affecting your sleep. And your partner's not even sleeping that well because if the TV's on, they're definitely not even sleeping. Like they're sleeping, but they're not sleeping. And
you're not going,
yeah, it's just like become a bad habit. It's like eating a pack of biscuits before you go to bed. Well, you might like eating a pack of biscuits, but it's not good for you. Like it isn't good for you to have a TV in your bedroom. You shouldn't have a TV. It's not just, your body's not designed to like sit in bed and watch TV. It's creating like a lazy habit. And I always think to myself, I would never put a TV in my bedroom ever, like ever. I'm really big about sleep. I think sleep habits are so important. So I always make sure, like I read, even if it's just 10 minutes before I go to bed, that proper switches me out and zones me out. I make sure the room is pitch black. So I have thick curtains, you know, I make sure I try and minimize noise as much as possible. I've even got plants in the house and the room now because plants allow oxygenation. Yeah. So I've got 2 house plants, put them in there. And my sleep is like spot on. And I think because you think your sleep's good, you feel better from it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. If you knew that you're going to set yourself up for a good quality of sleep before, and that you know that you've got the things planned out for the day, then it just creates a very calm mindset, doesn't it? You just know that you've achieved things, you've done them right.
Yeah, I think anyone out there, I know we're talking about environment, but anyone out there struggles with sleep, massively struggles with sleep. It's like a fat person trying to lose weight, right? Because they're not implementing the basic fundamentals to improve their sleep or to lose weight. So with someone who's overweight, and if you have been overweight, that's absolutely fine. I'm not judging. If you want to lose weight, however, eat less, move more, and exercise resistance-based training. The 3 fundamentals. When it comes to improving your sleep, it needs to be meditation, which is a game changer. That improved my sleep massively. It's about taking away technology from your room, switching off technology 2 hours before you go to bed, reading a book, maybe having a warm bath before you go to bed. All of those things, right? If you literally just go from the TV to your bedroom and then wonder why you can't sleep, you're not really doing anything to try and benefit it. And people do the old standard, oh, I did it for a few days, didn't work. Try doing it for 6 months. You know, try doing meditation every single day, 10 minutes every single day for 6 months, and then say if it worked or not. It frustrates the life out of me that people don't invest enough time to actually try and combat an issue. You know, they say
they didn't give it a chance.
Yeah, they say it upsets them that much, right? And it affects their life that much that they've got no energy, but they're not willing to invest X amount of time for a period of time to improve that lifestyle. You know,
which doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make. Baffles me.
You spent so much time in that area of not being happy, then you know. Say someone was like that for a year. You had terrible sleep for a year, and you felt every single day you felt rough. You tracked it. Maybe you wrote it down, saying, "Oh, out of 10, my energy levels are 4," or whatever, and it showed for a year that you were feeling like crap. Then you spent a whole year feeling like that. So why couldn't you spend a month, 2 months trying to feel better and feeling the results? Because that's only like what, a sixth of the amount of time that you felt terrible. It's a very small number in comparison to how long you'd probably feel crap for. But people just don't invest the time in themselves nowadays.
No, no, you get the people like, for example, and they go, and I'm not judging anyone for it, but it's like
Mm.
you get people that go like, oh, I don't have the time to do this, right? So I don't have the time to exercise or eat better. But then you think, well, what's the opposite of that? The opposite of that is eat shit and don't do anything. And then literally you look back in 3 years' time, you're still exactly the same position as what you were 3 years ago. But
Yeah.
actually, in a way, you're probably worse. So then you're going to start then, or you're going to leave it and wait for another 3 years of being unhappy. So it's like having a bad partner, isn't it? You like go through years, you know the partner's not right, you know it ain't good,
Yeah.
right? And rather than knock on the head and accepting it, you're like, well, I might persevere with it because it might get better. But if you already know deep down in your heart of hearts it's not going to get any better, why delay it and prolong the agony, right, of like 1, 2 years when you're going to be exactly the same situation as what you are then? You've wasted all that time. So when it comes to work, relationships, fat loss, or it comes to improving your sleep, right? Yeah, the environment does dictate success, but also don't doing nothing about it and then looking back 2 years later or 2 years forwards is you're going to be in exactly the same situation, but it's probably worse situation. So don't sit there and moan. Do something about it now because 2 years later, look back and go, my sleep's better, my weight is down, my work is better.
Yeah. And it's not just going to happen like that as well. Like you're saying, it's 2 years down the line. Think about the time then. Um, you know, I know we always talk about but putting small sustainable steps in is really what's going to help. I don't mean steps as in walking. I mean, you should be doing them, but small sustainable steps as in one, maybe for 2 weeks of the month, you don't watch TV for bed. For 2 weeks, you do because you maybe enjoy that. Maybe you do one night on, one night off, and you see how better you feel one of the other days, and you'll say, oh, well, that's cheered me up a little bit. Feel less tired this morning. Or, maybe you start drinking more water so you feel less dehydrated. Because I know sometimes when I don't drink enough water and I go to bed, I've got like not a banging headache, but my head's a little bit like, I feel like a little prune in bed, like wrapped up in my blanket. I feel like a little
Prune.
dried fruit sometimes. Yeah,
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 I
yeah.
know what you mean, mate. Yeah.
You know what
I
I mean
think,
though? Because sometimes
no,
you,
exactly
you
what you
you
mean.
know you haven't drunk enough water and you feel terrible.
Yeah.
So just doing little things like maybe drinking a little bit more water or an evening walk, instead of watching the TV, put the remote down, put the Netflix down and go walk the dog for half an hour or whatever it is, or just go and sit in the garden and take in some natural light or, taking some sounds from outside. I know, just loads of little, try new things. People are afraid of trying things that they haven't tried before because they're afraid of failure. But another analogy I heard the other day is, if you're here and your sleep's terrible, you're not feeling great, you're not progressing, and there's something that's up here that you think is going to work for you, and you go up there to try it and it doesn't work, why are you afraid? Because all you're going to be is back down at where you
Yeah.
started, so you're no lesser to where you were before anyway. So actually, trying new things is one of the most important things that you can do, because 95% of the time it probably won't work, but that 5% it will. So you'll be another step up. It's like a ladder. You've got to work your way up.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
yeah, it's so essential that people try new things, because if you don't, progress isn't going to happen. That's the thing.
It's like being us on here, right? We've done this now. This is our 6th week, 7th week, maybe doing it, right? I see so many people doing podcasts, right? And so many people
Yeah.
start it and they don't even make episode number 3 and they give up, right? So, and the thing is, people go, it didn't work. But of course, it's not going to work straight away. Like, no one is an overnight success. You think Ed Sheeran banged out A-Team on his first song? You sat with a guitar, right? And he's thought, I'll smash out A-Team. Yeah, #1 record selling. But he like bust and he just played, you know what I mean? Played in pubs and clubs and stuff like that. And then people have the audacity to say, oh, he's lucky. Do you know what I mean? There's 3 times you can win money, you can inherit money, or you can work for it. And that's what resonates with me, because I think you can win it, but if you win it, you don't know how you made it in the first place. So the more likely you won't end up losing it. You can inherit it, which, don't get me wrong, nothing against it. But again, you don't know how you made it in the first place. So more than likely, you'll probably end up losing it. Or you can work for it. I'd rather work for it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And it's like the body, for example. What I love about fitness, I love about health, is you can't win a good body. You've got all the money in the world. People are millionaires, billionaires, trillionaires. But at the end of the day, you can have the best trainer in the world, but you've got to put the effort in. you know, and
Well,
that's what I love.
you, I know it's probably it might spark a little bit of debate, but people have. I know it's a very small percentage of people, but there are some people who have like amazing genetics. But
Yeah, of
on the contrary, you do have to work with that, don't you? I
course
mean,
you do.
I guess you can say that's inheriting a good body, but you can't win it. I
Yeah.
don't know. How do you feel about that, like genetics wise?
Well, my mate Tom, right, uh, stupidly good physique.
Yeah,
Like I think like for his physique, he's great, and
yeah,
he naturally just looks good. And when he trains, he
yeah,
just gets even better. But if what people don't see is what he eats, right, and how hard he trains, the bloke's ridiculous. He's like a machine, right?
yeah,
It's stupid, and he eats the most ridiculous diet ever. It's the most boring, bland diet ever, but he likes that. He's literally
yeah.
like a machine, and you could just tell him what to eat, and he just does it. But he'll train for
Right.
hours and hours. Most people aren't willing to do that. So yeah, he has
Yeah,
got great genetics, but also along with great genetics, he literally eats like a robot and he trains like a robot. But the majority of us can't do that. But hard work
yeah,
always beats genetics because it's like a gifted person or a person with great talent. If they don't put the work in, they'll never get to where they want to be. And
yeah,
that's what I love the most. I love the most that actually there are people in the fitness industry that are far or could be far better than me or you. But the
yeah,
difference is they're lazy. And
yeah,
I like the fact of always being the underdog and always being the fact of having to learn more and read more and putting more effort in and trying different things and seeing what things didn't work. But I always try things and I always
yeah.
persevere at them. And you know, you get people in the fitness industry, they say apparently personal trainers last like 2 years.
Right.
Yeah, and then they give up. Right. Well, I've been here like what, 13 years.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show that like you kind of plug it in. And actually now,
Turning up each day.
pardon?
It's just
Yeah.
turning up each day, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like
Basically, yeah. Yeah. I
when
think,
you want a promotion at work, you wouldn't like if you're looking for a promotion at work, say in any job or whatever it is, and you got to turn up 5 days a week, you wouldn't turn up 2 days of the week one week, 3 days the other week, one day the other week, and then 5 days the other week. You have to turn up consistently every day to push on. So what you're saying about that is it's building momentum, isn't it?
yeah, definitely, mate. That's the thing. And the thing is, once you get it going, it's great. And it's like with fat loss. Once you start losing weight, people lose more weight. But it's seeing
Yeah,
that initial weight loss. It's getting on the train, getting the tracks going, right? And once you've got the tracks going, the weight loss starts to come and it gets motivating. I mean, you sort of
yeah,
Andrea, for example. Like now she's hell of a motivated. She wouldn't. I can't imagine her putting weight on. Do you see what I mean? John, my other client, lost weight,
yeah,
and now I can't imagine his life being any different. Like it's like that is just John. That's who he becomes. But I think the
yeah,
problem with a lot of people is they're like here, they want to be here, but if they broke through that ceiling and just got a little bit, took a big step up, then they smash it. But most
yeah,
people just go around here all the time. They think it's all right to keep eating, overeating every weekend. They think it's all right to drink every single night. But the point is, you have to go for a period of doing stuff you perhaps don't enjoy to then get to a level where you can actually like ease off the gas a little bit.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, you need to put yourself, and it relays back to what I was saying about. I can't actually remember now. But anyway, what was I about to relay that back to? It's about putting yourself out of the comfort zone.
Yeah,
So obviously you'll sit, like you're saying, at that level, that little pool, and you want to get up to there, but it's try new things. You know, we all need to try new things, new experiences, because if we don't, the only thing that's going to happen is we're going to come back down to that level. But same context, you know, you need to get yourself out of the comfort zone to progress. Because if you're in your little bubble, and someone over there is doing something, but you would have no idea that that's going to positively impact you in a way, whether it's your fat loss, whether it's your mental health, whether it's your job, whatever, all these different things. If you don't know that that's there and that's an opportunity, and you don't give it a go, then you're not allowing yourself to progress. So making yourself uncomfortable is one of the most important things to do, because it makes us stronger mentally as well as physically.
definitely. And I think, like you said, the environment. I mean, for anyone out there at the moment, you know, and you're struggling with training and you're training from home, get a gym membership. So, I mean, I think it baffles me on the time when people say about price, for example, like the gym we work at, it's £1 a day. You
Yeah,
know, I buy a Costa coffee most days now. I'll be honest, I've worked out in my head, it's expensive when you work it out every year. I probably shouldn't be doing it. But then I think to myself, I don't go out drinking alcohol, right? I am, you know, I've barely gone away this year at all. So if I enjoy a Costa coffee now and again, then yeah, I'm going to have fun. But it's like, people don't even think about the repercussions of what they spend. They go out on a weekend, they'll blow £100, right?
Yeah.
But £100 on a weekend would invest in 3 quality sessions with us, right? A gym membership, you know, and great tasting food from Waitrose, and that would be the £100. So they'd have a great diet, they'd have a great body, and they'd have a great mental attitude. And that would be all for the price of that one night out, which gives them a severely bad hangover and makes them feel terrible the next day. But they're weighing up the price and they're saying, oh, well, actually, you know, I think you're a bit expensive, but I'm all right to buy 15 Jaeger bombs. Well,
doesn't make sense.
What do you want in life? Fair enough if that's what you want to do. If you want to go out every weekend and get absolutely belted, right? And then Sunday morning feel sorry for yourself and then go back for it again. And like your age, 100% Fionn. I mean, I'm not literally, you as a youngster, you have to 100% go out and get smashed. Like, it's like, you know, some people say, oh, don't do it. Well, I'm not saying do it every single weekend.
Part of the parcel of being young.
Of course it is. You've got to learn. But you get to a point in your life when you realise, is it really all about going out and getting battered? And I'm in that position now when I think to myself, the hangover isn't worth the going out. That's just how I feel. Drinking, to the idea of me going out till 3, 4 in the morning, it actually makes me feel sick at the moment. Like thinking about it, thinking about how I would feel the next day. Like the waste of a day, like the write-off day, the feeling like crap, the non-productivity, the lack of work, the lack of, you know, my mood would be thing. And I'm adding it all up, and already in my head, I would know it's a bad idea. But that's not to say I wouldn't do it, but I will do it a lot less. And
few and far between, that's it.
Yeah, for me to go out, it's going to have to be a bloody good event going on. You know,
music, hotels.
It's going to have to be a weekend of it, and understanding that I'll probably have Monday off because I know that I'll just accept that will be how it is. But I won't be doing. I just don't feel the achievement of doing random nights out on a Saturday. Just I'm happy, but I'm happy getting up Sunday morning early, going for a dog walk and doing a sea swim, and then doing a Sunday night run. And I know I wouldn't be able to do that if I was going out till 4 or 5 in the morning.
That's the thing, and you do back to environment, relaying that back in. You know that's an environment that you don't want to put yourself in. Yeah. Because if you do, bad choices come, bad foods, overconsumption of alcohol, bad sleep. The next day you'll be in your gym jams on the sofa, cuddling the dogs, feeling sorry for yourself. And that's an environment that you say to yourself, well, why would I want to do that? Because you want to progress. So for a lot of people, obviously, that would put you out of your comfort zone, but that's not what we're trying to talk about here. Yeah. We're trying to talk about productive things that will put you out of your comfort zone. Yeah, I just think I stack it up. You have to weigh it up now. And the book I'm reading is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And it says, like, some people I'm very much work orientated, and then some people are family orientated, and other people are this. And some people, like, they live for the high. So the high gets bigger and bigger. So, you know, like they do one thing and then it's like, oh, got to do the next thing. And then problem is that follows a massive low. But you have to basically, it gives you like examples. It says, oh, your boss asks you to stay on late at work, but you're taking your partner out that night. What do you do? And it's like, it's basically saying that you can either be a relationship kind of person and go, no, my partner comes first, or you can be a work oriented person and say, my work comes first. But what you got to think is the end in mind. So you've got to think about what you're here on this planet for. So what your goal is, you know, end in mind. And it's got to make sure that it aligns with that. So you've got like rules, like non-negotiables in a way. For example, on a Sunday, I don't work, right? So if I start working on a Sunday, I've broken my rule. Yeah. And that's not okay, because that then becomes a problem because I've then made allowance that it happens on that Sunday. Do you see my point? So it's like I switch it once, then it's like, oh, I can maybe do it next. You wouldn't say, oh, maybe do it next Sunday, but next Sunday you might get a message through, or like an email you might want to reply to. Yes, and then that would create a bad habit, wouldn't it? Yeah, which is hard because I bloody love working and I like replying back to people. I don't see it being a problem, but actually, if you're always on it, you're never off it, are you? So for me, Sunday I have to really make, and sometimes I still do stuff. I still do courses and stuff like that. I do like an hour's worth of training, but I see that to me as a relaxing thing. That's what's weird. I don't see it as a chore. So it's kind of having those rules of yourself and going, right, no. And at 8 o'clock at night,
I make sure that I don't reply back to anyone 8 o'clock at night. And it's
Yeah.
like last night we text each other, didn't we? But
Yeah.
I don't see it's been a problem. But sometimes you have to make
No.
those rules, because otherwise, if you start doing a bit later, a bit later, a bit later, you end up, before you know it, it's all gone out. It's all gone out the window, isn't it?
Bed on your phone, replying back to like X, Y, and Z. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah. But
Yeah,
it's all about I think that word you use, rules, is quite good, because people don't lay the guns down with themselves enough. They could, you may have a thought that you're not gonna drink this week, or you're not gonna over excess your calories this week, and that might be a thought. But if you don't put the systems in place for that not to happen, the likelihood of it happening is a lot higher. So I think having morals and rules with yourself is essential. I like that point that you made there.
yeah. I think when it comes down to it, like we're like recap cycling is a good topic, but you've got to surround yourself around like-minded people. I cannot stress that enough, right? If you want to improve your health and your happiness, right, and you are spending your time with the same old bozos, right, doing the same stuff that you don't agree with, don't hang around with them, all right?
Yeah.
Or reduce your time with them. That's the thing. You don't have to spend your whole life. You can meet new people, yeah, and you can go to different clubs and meet different people, but don't moan every single weekend that you've gone out, got battered, right? And then you feel sorry for yourself and you're not going to do it again, and then you go and do it again, right? It's just frustrating. Just either do it and don't mention it, right? Or don't keep saying, I've got to change my life, because at the end of the day, you're in control. You're in your own vehicle, and it's your choice what you do. And I'm not telling anyone to not go out and drink. That is literally not what I'm saying to do. I know loads of people that stay in great shape and go out every single Saturday. That's absolutely fine. And that's their social life. Great, right? I make sure I factor in with my clients. And you're the same, Fionn. You can stay in shape and you can still go out. Great. But the people that are in between, the ones that go, I feel sorry for myself. I'm down. Oh, well, you got 3 hours sleep Friday, 4 hours sleep Saturday, right? You ate absolute terrible food Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah. You drank Friday and Saturday night, and you did whatever else. And then you're telling me you feel bad on Monday. Well, of course you feel bad on Monday.
Yeah.
I mean, you ain't got to be Albert Einstein to work that one out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what point do you think to yourself at the end of the day? Everyone says, live for the moment, right? Get it, live for the moment. But I would rather live for the week rather than just a Saturday night. That's just me. But I'm not hating on anyone. I'm just saying, just take some accountability for yourself. It's like for fat loss. If you're stuffing cream buns down your face every single day, and then you're wondering why you're not losing body fat, start taking some accountability. Start realizing actually you're in control of your actions, and it's you that's created the issues. And no matter what, information and education you get, if you don't implement the advice and the guidance, you're not going to improve your life. Another rant.
That'll it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I'll recover that. You know what I mean, though? I like.
No, 100%. People get themselves stuck in a rut, and they don't give themselves the opportunity to succeed. They don't, and it's the environment that you put yourself in is really going to dictate that. So if you put yourself into a pub or into a club without even thinking about it on a Friday and a Saturday night, then of course you're not going to progress. And not directly, but your environment on a Monday, naturally around you, your room's probably messy. You've probably got, you haven't washed your work clothes because you've been hungover. All these little things that are going to impact the way that you move forward throughout the week. So your diet, your sleep, how much you're moving and stuff like that. All that's going to be very affected from, say, the weekend. But it's who you surround yourself with. If you go out on a Saturday daytime for a nice walk and a chat with one of your old pals that you haven't met up with for a while, and then that'll make you sleepy for a Saturday night, so you make sure you don't go out and all this kind of stuff. It's amazing how much other people around you impact you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think, do you know what I love? I love that Sunday morning, right, when I'm getting up and I'm driving down to West Bay, and already I'm met by like 8 cyclists, full on lycra up, right? Lycra, the helmet, the glasses, cycling. I think last class, literally. I think I might end up doing that one day, because you see them in a group of people. They haven't been out Saturday night, or they have been out Saturday night. Bloody hell, they're machines, and they've gone on a massive cycle. You know, you've got the fresh air. They probably stop to have a coffee and cake. You know, they have a big laugh. You know, that's social size. So you can still do stuff that's fun. And that's fine, but it doesn't have to revolve in literally getting battered week in, week out. That's the thing. You know, you can still do stuff to chill out. It doesn't involve drinking a bottle of wine every single night. That's the big picture. And just to recap, your environment does dictate success. So if you want to train, we'd highly recommend you get another environment to train in, i.e. go into a gym rather than train at home or train in another room. If you want to sleep, remember, don't work or don't watch TV in your bedroom if you're struggling sleeping. Your room is just for sleeping and for sex. Nice bottom line, that's how it is. And if you're working from home, which a lot of people are at the moment, use a spare room if you can. I mean, I'm in my spare room now. Unfortunately, Fionn, you go to a coffee shop, don't you?
I do go to a coffee shop, on a Friday, because my Friday workload is pretty full on. So what I do is, at the moment, I'm in my room, and that's what I was doing in lockdown, because I know it sounds a little bit hypocritical, but I wasn't sitting in my bed and typing on my laptop. I made myself a nice little desk, like you were saying about the houseplant. Got mine here. Got my whiteboard just up there, my pens and everything. I invested in a few little things, my notepads next to me, all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to create an environment for myself, and I feel like that worked quite well over lockdown. But I go to a coffee shop now because sometimes when I'm sitting at home and the dog's barking and then mum comes in and the wind's blowing away and the Wi-Fi's being terrible and all these kind of things, and I just it shoots up and I can't create them walls. These walls just keep getting knocked down that I'm in. What I do is I imagine myself sitting in a box on my laptop, looking at my thingies and building these walls around me, and that's the coffee shop.
Yeah, definitely.
And a coffee and maybe a bag of crisps or something, whatever it is. That's the walls, that's the foundation that I'm building all around me.
Yeah.
But if you're at home doing something and then dinner's ready and it's like, oh, for God's sake, I was literally just about to finish this email. All that kind of stuff.
Matt, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Hey,
do you sit at Morrison's with your cream?
I sit in the car. I sit in the car. If anyone sees me sitting in the car typing away, do not come to my car. I do not want to talk to anyone. hey, I better shoot though because I'm going to crack on tonight. But that was a good show, everyone. Love chatting to everyone, and I hope it all helped you. And I know I go off the tangent a little bit and go on a thing, but I think I just want to fire people up and get people to realise that you can change yourself, okay? It's down to you, no one else but yourself, all right? And you little bye, Fionn.
Bye now.
Hey, we'll see everyone soon. Have a bloody great week and enjoy yourself. See you soon.
Right then.